with you algorithms. Algorithms is a very important subject for your examination point of view or your interview point of view. So let us discuss all about algorithms, its asymptotic notations and its questions in this video. So let us start. First of all, let's talk about what an algorithm is. An algorithm is a finite sequence of steps to solve a problem. Algorithms are not written in any specific language such as Java, C, Python, etc., but it's written in simple English language to just describe what is happening in a problem. So, we can analyze our algorithms. We have many factors on the basis which we can analyze our algorithms, but most important of them are time and space, which we'll take into consideration. We have an example of algorithm. This is a simple algorithm to add two numbers. So it is written in basic simple English language. Start, declare variables, number 1, number 2 and sum. Then we'll read the values of number 1 and 2. Then we have to add them and assign to result, display sum and then stop. So this algorithm can be understood by anyone whether if he knows any language or not. So we can analyze our algorithms in two types, prior and posterior. In prior, we analyze our algorithms before compiling. That is, we analyze it roughly on the basis of iteration, loops, number of statements, and in posterior, we analyze it after compiling. So in posterior, the analysis of algorithms include all the machine constants, hardware, type of hardware, and machine execution time. But in prior, it is independent of machine execution time and machine constants. For prior, we have to learn about all the time complexities, notations of time complexities, etc. So we have to So we have asymptotic notations to tell time complexities of an algorithms. Asymptotic notations are languages that allow us to analyze an algorithm's running time by identifying its behavior as input size for algorithm increases. This is known as algorithm's growth rate. Asymptotic notation basically depends on the size of input, whether it's small input or whether it's a very large input. So we'll discussing all the notations on asymptotic. First is Bego notation. It is first case complexity and its asymptotic upper bound. Basically, Bego notation tells us about the maximum time an algorithm will take to run. So this is known. So this is worst case complexity. This is very common use notation that we'll be using in all the algorithms. So we depict it by Fn is equals to big O of Gn, where Fn is algorithm runtime and Gn is arbitrary time complexity. So we can write it as Fn is less than equals to C of Gn, where C is a constant whose value is greater than 0. So this was about our Bego notation. Let's try some of the questions. First example, we are given a function fn and a function gn. We have to tell is fn big O of n. So how we'll solve this is, we know fn is equals to big O of n and fn is less than equals to c of gn. So this becomes the equation. So now we have to find such a value of c that this term becomes greater than this term. So we have that value for c is equals to 150 and above. We'll have this right side greater than left side for all n is n greater than 2, because n doesn't work, log n doesn't work for n is equals to 1. So the answer is yes, fn is equal if fn can be equals to O of n. Next question. Next notation. Next is our big omega notation. This notation is used to find best case complexity. This is asymptotic lower bound. This notation tells the minimum time an algorithm will take to execute. So we can represent it by fn is equals to omega of gn, where fn is algorithm runtime and gn is arbitrary complexity. We have in this field we have fn greater than equals to c of gn, where c is greater than 0. Now we have our theta notation. This is an average case complexity and asymptotic tight bound. We depict it by symbol theta. In this this tells exactly what is the complexity of an algorithm if the input is of medium size. So we represent it by C1 Gn less than Fn and less than C2 Gn. So Fn is average, and in this C1 is greater than 0 and C2 is greater than 0. Both the constants should be greater than 0, and if Fn lies between both of these, then it is said to be average case. Next, we have two more notations, little o and little omega. These are not that much used. Last three that we discussed were the majorly used notations. Anyways, little o notation is upper bound that is not asymptotically tight. That is, it is similar as big O, but we do not include equal to sign here. Now next is little omega. It is lower bound, and it is also similar to big omega, but we doesn't include equal to sign here also. So this was all about our notations. So now let us try some of the examples to make our concepts more clear. So the question is, we have two functions n of k and keep c to the power n. So we have to tell the asymptotic relation between these two functions. Basically, fn is n to the power k and gn is c to the power n. So we have to tell how they are dependent by big O, big omega or theta. So first let's analyze these functions. N of k is a polynomial function and c of n is a constant to the power n, that is exponential function. So we have a graph for this. An exponential function will grow faster than a polynomial function. So as this graph depicts, we'll have our n square will be smaller than exponential function. So we can write it as an polynomial function will be smaller than exponential function. So this is the expression for big O notation, in which fn was less than equals to c of gn. So it will be the answer. They both will be related to each other by big O notation. Next question is, we have the functions log base 2n and log base 8n. We have to tell asymptotic relation between these functions. So analyzing these functions, log base 8n can be written as log base 2n and log base 28 by the logarithmic property. Then log base 28 can be written as 3 log base 2 की power 2, because we can write 8 as 2 की power 3 and 3 comes out, and log base 2 and 2 becomes 1. So 3 into 1 is 3. So we get it, we get value of log 8n as log to the base 2n by 3. So almost these two functions become similar, as they only differ by a constant, which doesn't matter a lot. So if we try to check for Bego notation, they satisfy Bego notation because of this graph. Log 8n grows slight slower by the log n, so it satisfies this relation. Next, if we put a value of c as 5, then log 8n will grow faster, so it will satisfy omega notation. And if we draw log 8 log n in between log 8n and 5 log 8n, so it will become the average case. It will satisfy the theta notation. So it satisfies all the three notations. In next functions we have is n cube log 2n and 3n log 8n. So looking on to this function, we analyzed in previous question that log 8n is log 2n upon 3. So this function, so log term in both the functions are equal, and so we have this as cubic function and this as linear function. So obviously cubic function grows more faster than linear, so we'll have, they both are dependent on each other by omega notation, as in this case our fn is greater than gn. So this is an omega relation. Next we have is 8 to the power n and 4 to the power n. You pause the video and try to solve this question on your own first. So continuing this question, we have these two functions. So this 8 to the power n will grow faster as compared to 4 to the power n, because 8 to the power n will become, if we put the value of n 10, and in both the cases, then automatically 8 to the power 10 will, graph of 8 to the power 10 will increase faster. So this will also be dependent by omega notation. Next question we have is, we have two log functions. First, let us try to solve them. We will solve them by using property log base 2 a to the power b, in which b comes out and it remains log to the base 2a. So first term comes out to be this, and second term also comes out to be same. So these both functions are same, so their graph would be same, they would be growing equally, so they will satisfy all three conditions. So I have a chart for you of comparison of various time complexities, as I am sure that you must have faced problem in depicting the time complexities of the functions in previous questions. So you can see this chart. and analyze which function grows faster and which function grows slower, so that it will be easy for you to recognize the faster function in all these types of questions. So you don't need to memorize it, you can just analyze them by adding some greater values of n, such as if you put value of n as 100 in in this function or in this function, so obviously this will become greater value and this will come out to be least value than this. So by putting different values of n, you can analyze this table and memorize and learn this for your exams. So this was all about algorithms for this video. Subscribe our channel Careless Coders for more such content and stay tuned.